UK, Europe, USA, Canada. Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Bukan waringe si million sa jupae kungangar ama pikireti coronavirus. Coronavirus kwa kaka sumut kanu manje bajuta nine, bajuta nifa, bajuta nine, bajuta stek. Kaka kasumut kanu manje bukana tuku gore. Badne baj ke bari sumu yene tere gudi ka sumut kati coronavirus. Tate ten tembenya ji baj pikireti yang konem vaccine yel manje anosan awurna pour mana janga yo bangola tanka fanga fa ka sumut kati COVID-19. Guliji yimbe ka hore lady woni ko yettindu pikiri coronavirus non ko gonga anda bale anda dani anda paykun anda mawdo wari africans be boy ka hore lady sabu non ala lekki ono kibaruji weldi di woni ndu hebi haray pikiro bayna fo nyetti o vaccine jol ko kala yoreno dedindi labi ko dum non ko fewno coronavirus no wodi o nyawono.
With the press, to have the opportunity, at least I think for the first time, to meet the Olympians that are just from Tokyo. My name is Ababakar C, and I'll be moderating this event. And before going any further ado, I just want to introduce the members that I am joined with on the high table. On my immediate left is Ibrahim Suri Buaro, was the Gambian that represented us in the swimming category in the just ended Tokyo 2020 Olympics. After Ibrahim is Gina Bass, our track queen, who has represented the Gambia in the 100 and the 200 meters and finished both in the semi-finals. After Gina is Ibrahim Kamara. Ibrahim also debuted in the Olympics this year, representing the Gambia in the 100 meters. On opposite me, on the far left down there, it's the Gambia national team captain in athletics, Adama Jame, who could not be in the Olympics this year but was in Rio 2016. But he has a very important role to play here because he is the national team captain of the Gambia. And he has served as a mentor to many athletes that have reached at where they are today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you so very much for finding time to come down and meet these athletes at once. We feel this is the right thing to do because since they're coming back from Tokyo, I mean, I would not say taking advantage, but media, media houses that have the opportunity, we are calling them on different platforms. But we believe this is the right thing to do, to call them, gather them at one place so that the press will have the opportunity to ask all the questions that they want to ask rather than jumping from one media house to the other. I won't blame them because sometimes, the agendas are different, the platforms are different. But I think this is the best that we can do so that, all the media houses will be given the opportunity to meet them and ask questions relating to the just ended Olympics, and going forward. At the end of the press conference, we'll have a presentation because I'm sure you're all aware that Gambians came out in their numbers, particularly on social media, to show support of the Olympic team, and which warranted some of them to, in fact, even open GoFundMe accounts. Some were collecting donations, cash and kind, towards the athletes, particularly Gina Bass. So we will have a special presentation that will be done, for Gina Bass, by few Gambians that, initiated a GoFundMe account, and many Gambians contributed, towards supporting Gina because they love what she is doing. Before, passing the mic on, I also want to thank the management of Alliance Cafe for providing us this wonderful place to host this event. Of course, I've seen them giving us a very nice juice, and the refreshment is nice. Thank you so very much for coming. Before going any further, I will just, as I said, I want the media to clear their doubts, to ask their questions concerning, the Olympics, the athletes that participated, and I'm sure you will want to know what the future lies, or what preparations they will be doing, or what do they have in mind ahead of competitions commence, because we are all aware that 2022 will be a very, very busy year in the athletics calendar. In case you don't know, we will be having the Islamic Games in 2022, we'll be having the African Games in 2022, we'll be having the Commonwealth Games, and the qualifiers for 2024 will all be on the pipeline. So 2022-2023 will be a very busy schedule, towards 24, where France will host the next Olympics in Paris. So here we are, the athletes are here, we'll just want to give you the floor, the opportunity to ask questions that perhaps you were having in mind and did not have the opportunity to ask. Here is the opportunity to face our Olympians and ask them questions, and it can be in any language that you feel like, preferably if you want the local languages, it's fine, but to know that they are here with us, and yeah, the floor is yours. Any questions, comments? Yeah? Just introduce yourself and... Okay, go. My name is One of you go there, all mics can have the conversation. Oh yeah. Yeah. Next time provide us with 2 mics. So the one that... Okay, come.
All right, once again, I'm Salih Jallo from Capital FM, and my question goes to the team captain, of course, Adama. He who feels it knows it, you pass through the hurdles. And of course, what do you think are the requirements needed to improve Gambian athletics to higher heights? We have been watching different kind of competitions, and recently in Tokyo, there are other athletes, if Gina can attest to that, speaking to them, they have something that Gina is not having. So what do you think are the requirements needed in order to bolster or take Gambian athletics to the apex or to the pinnacles of athletics?
Thank you. That is for the team captain. What are the requirements? What do we need to have more Gina Bass, more Adama Jame, more Ibrahima Kamara, or maybe more Ibrahima Buaro? Okay.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. It's a pregnant question, and it entails so many things. The Gambian athletes and athletics in general need the infrastructure, because I also double as the athletic commission of the country, which includes all the Olympic sports in the Gambia. So it's not only about athletics. We should put more in all Olympic sports in the country, in infrastructure. Because if you see Gambia, when you come to terms of swimming, how many swimming pools that we got that are of standard that Ibrahima can go and do his training exercises. He have to flee the country to other countries to do some trainings. And also Gina Bass, the other Ibrahima, and myself have to go to Senegal at the high performance training center there that is monitored by the Confederation of African Athletics. So the infrastructure is number one thing that the Gambia needs, because there are so many talented athletes in the country who want to sell the country good in the outside world. So one is infrastructure, and the other thing is the support towards these very athletes. Because when you see comparing our own athletes to other athletes in the world, our earnings are far more different. Because sometimes you can go to competitions, an athlete that you've been defeating can tell you that, well, I'm giving $10,000. When you being a Gambian, you only receive $1,000. So mentally, it affects the athlete. Because you are like, I do more than what he or she is doing, and why is he or she earning more than I do? So the support is key thing, and the environment is another thing. As an athlete, being in athletics, swimming, volleyball, and other sports, your environment is very, very important, because you need to have that environment that you will have that free mind to train and also compete. Because athletics, I can say it comes in 3 categories. One, you have to do that pre-season that will give you that strength and the ability to do certain things. And you have the pre-season that will also prepare you of whatsoever you're doing. And I know it's the same in swimming, because even in swimming, you have the pre-season, the season, and the pre-season, the season, and the competition. So these are some of the things that we need to put in place. And we also need to work on the grassroots athletes. These are people, that's where we both start from our school levels. Gina, myself, Ibrahima, the 2 Ibrahimas, that's where we all start. So we need to have more competitions in our own country, and from there, anything is really possible, because we have the talent, we have the people. What we lack is the support, the infrastructure, and the environment. And with that, Gambia can be of like Jamaica and other countries in the world, even in swimming like Australia and other countries.
Good afternoon. My name is Fat Kulubari from Gambian Talent TV. My question is like, before the competition or after the competition, did you have any country who request to you like to buy you naturalizing their countries? Yeah. Gina Bass.
Did you have any country that approached you before or after Tokyo that Gina come on naturalize us?
Good afternoon. It was before, but not now. Yeah.
All right. Which country?
It's very important that. That has passed. That has passed.
That's confident.
Okay. That has passed. Yeah. You wanna have a follow-up question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they like ñu come the president Adama Barrow daf la joxe 500,000 for you guys. Ba pare daf la jox ker boo xamante ne dañ ko samba ba jeex ba pare dafa la jox moto boo xamante ne dafa rëy yeneen ñu ngi wax social media gaa ñu ngi wax why not you give 500,000 to others gaa yi ñu seeyaa ko yow nga jël moto bi ak lifin ker boo xamante ne yaa Adama Barrow moo la ko jox ñu ngi wax like it's a greatness la nga tontu loolu daal.
Well, what Adama Barrow have said, he says that the money belongs to all the teams, so he did not clarify whether it's the athlete only or with the officials.
Why you gis foog nga ne lu président bi def noonu lu war lan la nekk lu war.
To me, everything what he did is because it have never happened. So what he just did is a great gift to each and every one of us.
This is more comfortable in, you know, so yes, it's comfortable in. Can you just ask the questions quickly and so that because you can move in a ticket? Many believe like we have this societal belief.
People have to hear what people are saying.
Yeah, but it's really causing a lot of confusion. Yeah.
And where's my recorder? Okay, there you go. All right, many have this societal belief like jigen mom si Kerala. And seeing you in Tokyo in different kind of competitions, what does this have to do with other females out there? What is your message to them?
It depends on whatever you want to do for yourself, because it does not mean that a woman should be seated in the house to cook only. But you have to go out to find something for yourself.
Okay, you can go on.
Okay, good afternoon. My question is, before Gina has been for Gina, or you have been in competition at international level, we have seen that it was the Gina struggle just to get there from Lamento back out just to go and train. And unfortunately, during this Tokyo 2020 Olympic in Japan, and we have seen companies in this country who have been using Gina's image to brand their products. I mean, what is your concern regarding this? I mean, what do you intend to talk about these companies? Because when you were struggling, I believe none of those companies was supporting. And eventually you see yourself on the high of the ladder, and these people are now using your image, I believe, without your consent, and they are branding their products.
Well, what they just did is not correct, and Nani here have talked to them, so everything is clarified now.
Can I go ahead?
Yes. Assalamualaikum. Maa ngi tudd Fatou Samba, maa ngi liggéey Gambian Talents TV. Suma first question dina dem si Camara. Camara ma bëgg a xam rek aduna rek especially Gambian si nga xam ne ñu ngi si diaspora bi. Ñu ngi wax ne dafa mel ne Gina rek la ñiti nekk di mention but not yéen ñaari. Ma bëgg a xam yow naka nga gisee loolu. Da ngeen feel ne Gambia dañ leen neglect ndax da ngeen feel ne ndax ñiti nekkun di gis li nga xam ne moom ngeen def. Du ñëpp a mënoon a dem foofu noonu ba tey yéen struggle ngeen struggle boo xam ne nu ko Gina struggle noonu la ko yéen it struggle foogu leen ne Gambian si ñu ngi leen bàyyi gannaaw bu baax a baax because am na yu bari yoo xam ne jaar ngeen ko xit na gars yi xamul métit yooyu ma bugga rek nga wax Gambian si ndax regretuloo ku dem si li nga xam ne mooy Olympic competition bi ndax fiiluloo tamit ne sa dëkka den la jox gannaaw den ma doog a ñëw si kale sorry.
Asalaamaaleykum maa ngi leen a nuyu yéen yëpp seen tur ak seen santa pour tontu li nga laajte nii am nga gis-gisi nit yi daf di uti man mun naa gisee ni kii mu gisee ko neen waaye sport dafa fair so soo si nekkee yow mu si nekk yaa di xam li nga xamante ne loolu nga sacrifice balaa nga àgga foofu noonu so comme Gina yaaga na di def jaloore waaye am na ñu bari bi olympique bi leen soog a gis jaloore bu mu def te am na yu mu def yi nga xamante moo ëppa olympique bi nii sax waaye gisuñ ko woon waaye man am very happy that ñu gis ne waaw Gina def na jaloore ak teammate am because yow di nga ko gisee noonu waaye maa ngi amee fi yenn vidéo yu nga xamante ne sax maybe man after loolu noonu buñ jógee how to call buñ jógee jéeno si jógee suñ département yi man nit yi moo àndal sax mu yow ñoo ànd ak Gina so nekkul ñëpp a gisee loolu noonu mais bi yow da ngaa gis ne lu dugga social media la waaye soo ñëwee in personally so it's normal daal it's normal man gis naa ne fàtte wu nga because soo xooloon keroog fale ne lu amoon airport musuta am so man bu ma àggee airport sax bu ma gisee loolu noonu dama ne waaw ndax ñun def ne li nga xamante ne disaaf ne pour nit yi bàyyi seen liggéey ñëw fii nii waaye su ma ko waxee dañ dee wax ne disaaf ngeen lu ëppal loolu noonu so gis naa ne Gambian yi fàtte wuñu te seen xel mu ngi si ñun waaye affaire yi ni comme ni ñu ko waxee rek laa dala te turn by turn la so it's Gina time and we are there to support her so nañ ko jàppee noonu gis naa ne Gambian yi fàtte wuñu te gëm naa ne fàtte wuñu.
Indeed, it's a team Gambia. Ibrahim.
Yes.
Way back, it's been a long journey for you since 2013.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
In Wari.
pass to Australia, just name a few, in Baku, in Tokyo now. Because these are the experience that we have gained. And lately, in Tokyo, Japan, what is the experience gained in the midst of other competitors?
Yeah, like I said before, people can say that this is your first Olympic, but if you go to the track, it's the same track that we were on even in Warri. So it's unfortunately, I did not achieve my goal and my dream of being in the Olympic, but not that I was having big, at least that I never competed or something like that. Although it's the big competition in the world. Yeah, so, but it was okay. It was okay. The experience, I have many experience there because as I prepare, some of others also, they were prepare like that. And some may even think that they may have gold medal there. They don't even qualify to the semi-final. Others stop at the semi-final. So, and people, there are some athletes that they don't even think that they can have medal there. They already have medal there. So, it's like that. It's not a new thing for me. And I believe that it's the highest sport. So, you cannot say that Camara go there and he was scared or something like that. No. Athletics is fair. It's your own track with your own lane, so nobody will push you. You have to do what is in your leg. So that's all.
No jógee si lii di nga still represent Gambia ndax di nga demal beneen dëkk ñu bari ñu ngi wax ne Gambia fayul leen seen daba am na lu bari loo xam ne def ngeen ko waaye wanewuñ ko ñu bëgg a xam rek ndax tey soo fi génnee di nga dem beneen dëkk nga bàyyi Gambie.
non fu mu nekk nii kay loolu su ma ko waroon a def kay moom ay at si gannaaw la ni kon def naa ko waaye fu mu nekk nii because comme ni ma la ko waxee rek du man rek ak ñeneen ñi nga xamante demu si olympique bi suñu la waxee lu ñu dee sacrifice te am na yeneen offre yoo xam ne mën nañ koo jël waaye duñ ko jël because of Gambia lañ am so suñu defaru suñu Gambia keneen duñu ko defaral so loolu rek lañ am moo tax nag ak loolu ñu munti jox Gambia la ñoo gis Gina mention na ko fii nii te mu ngay jéem a lii nii ay loolu waaye ba ëllëg am na ñi nga xamante ne pare nañ loolu noonu waaye nag moom Gambia la gis te Gambia la am te Gambia la am suñ ko bàyyee ñu dem si beneen dëkk yaaga lu ñu laa ooyee su dee Angleterre dañ la Gambian British su dee US la loolu la soo ba léegi duñ la woon ne soo fa yaagoon sax duñ tax ñu ni woon la ne yow waa foofu nga la so nga jël sa dëkk daal naa moo génn.
Ibrahima maa ñëw si yow gis nañ ne yéen ñett yéen a ànd ba highlight bi yëpp daf nekk si ñoom ñaar ma bëgg a xam rek because publicity dafa baax ku nekk tey am na lu bari loo xam ne su ko gars yi xamul ñun xam neen ko sacrifice nga ko dëkk foog nga ne dëkk bi rawatina nag nguur bi fay neen la sa daba
waaw
ba pare tamit bëgg naa bu mu nekk nappa because ñu ngi seetaan because tey suñu leen laajtee yeneen question and waxu leen li nga xam ne loolu ngeen fii at the end of the day they might say ne ñii ñu ngi baax so ma bëgg a xam rek naka nga feel
bon maa ngi leen di nuyu yéen ñëpp fii nii but man si suma gis-gis dafa mel ni comme this first Olympic game la nit ñu bari xam Ibrahima Boiro mu ngi represent Gambia for swimming si man si lu ma foog so man daal téew ma ko lu rëy daal man dama gis ne like maybe ñoom ñëpp dañoo téye comme ñu bari daal in this 2020 lañ ma soog a xam ne maa ngi still represent Gambia si lu ma foog.
waaw waaye answer sama question bi de. ma ne ndax yow foog nga ne. Gambia jox nañ la sa cër yàgg nga represent Gambia waaye xamul la woon waaye bii leen la xam. waaye si bii buñ la xamee foog nga ne jox nañ la sa daba because gis nañ ne yéen athletics yu bari yéen a ngi struggle yéen a ngi dugal public vehicles yéen a ngi def yu bari waaye tey dem ngeen si next level am na foo leen yóbbu turi Gambia foo xam ne Gambia éegul fa woon gis nañ athletics yu mel ni ñoom Mama Gassama ñu ngi bina génn di wane seen anga di wane ne yéen da ngeen try waaye Gambia joxewul
loolu noonu xam nga ñun ku nekk si ñun xamuñ lu nekk si seen poste ñoom ak luñ ñu mën a jox so ñun luñ mën a gis daal mooy sport daal comme man par exemple dama ko nekk di def nekkuma ko di def comme pour ut alal dama ko di ko def so man daal lu ma gis mooy gars yi support ñu ba léegi jox ñu confidence pour ñu mun a still continuer because sometimes soo xoolee affaire bi dafay métti because sometimes even suñu matériel soo xamante ne ni moom la ñoo liggéeyee duñ ko dee mun a am because sometimes soo xoolee ñun suñu man suma booba sometimes maa dee jëndal some training materials
suma halis. Sometimes suma dem train, sometimes dama dey fay suma own halis. So loli yeb manko def because dama like swimming. So ñom dal mënuma sé wax lu bari dal.
Why bu dé ñu ngi mëna jël xaaliss diko duggal ci politique gis né lu ñuy spend ci politique may neen diw sangam 100,000 may neen diw sangam ay millions yo xamné yeguñ ko. Ñu bëgg xam nak yeen ñi def athletic fi biir Gambia fo ngeen né am ngeen ci space.
Bon ba légui comme ñun dal ñu ngi am nañ fi space ndax amuñ ko fi we just love the sport we are doing. Yeah, I think yeah, because sometimes so holy man suma boba sometimes dama dey dem ba fogg me comme ma give up because luta because so holy sometimes nga gene sometimes do dey am sa training materials nu ko wara amé because sometimes da nga dey nek ak ay nit at the training center ñu ngi leen di sen dega ñu ngi leen di jox training materials yu mot sometimes nga leen di abal wala sometimes nga struggle sa on halis di jënd ay materials sometimes daf dey métti daal. Yeah.
Bëgg naa ñeneen yi ñu answer question boobu ñu ngi def ci politique bi waaye deful ci athletic ma bëgg a xam rek yéen noo leen gisee loolu. Mike Gina
Well, what I see, because what they are giving the politicians and athletes is not the same. So what they are giving us, this year what they give us, we have never had it. So it's a great achievement to each and every one of us here. And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate what they just give it to us.
So it means Barrow is doing more than Jammeh used to do.
Please, that is pressing.
I'm asking a question. You said this is not what we used to have.
I just want to chip in
here.
Gina, excuse me. I just want to chip in here. What athletes have been given before? I mean, I've been with these athletes from 2009 to date. The amount given, for example, they were given $200,000 to as travel allowance, if you like, to go to Tokyo. That has never happened before. Athletes have been living here, going to bigger competitions. I mean, the Olympics is the biggest competitions, yes, but they've been going to bigger competitions in Africa and in the Commonwealth Games, in the Islamic Games, without even a $50,000. So what she's trying to say is this is the first time that we are having this kind of allowance being given to athletes for the first time in history of Gambian athletes, because the old dads will tell you when they used to go for athletics competitions, they'll be given $50, $100. That was in the 70s, 80s. But we are saying for the first time ever, $200,000 was given to this, and it has never happened. Not in Jawara's government, not in Jammeh's government. So I think that is good that we clear that part of it. Please. Can we have another question? Yes.
Yeah. I have two questions. The first one is maybe for three of them.
Okay.
The lesson that they have learned from the Olympic Games. They reached the semi-final.
Reach the final.
The second question is Mr. Jammeh. What is this? What Jammeh called?
Adama
Jammeh. Of course, he was not.
No, he wasn't in Tokyo.
Okay. But anyway, they met the president. I don't know if he was part of.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Just now, he complained about lack of capacity and
material.
I don't know if they have raised that question to the president, saying that Mr. President, of course, you are helping us, you are giving us money, but is that one sustainable? I need something that can help the country and for the generation.
Okay. So let's have the athletes answer that first. What have you learned from Tokyo? Gina, you represented the Gambia in the 100 and 200, and for the first time you've reached the semi-finals of both. What have you learned from Tokyo?
Well, it's not my first competition in the Olympics, so this is my second competition. So it's a great achievement to me because there are some other people, they don't even reach in the semi-finals. So if I reach in the semi-finals, that is a great achievement. So I really appreciate that, and I'm moving forward to be in Paris 2024 to be in the final.
Ibrahima Sori, lan nga jàngee Tokyo ak lan lañ war a séntu si yow si kanam.
Bon, Tokyo moom bii nekkut suma first competition, but Tokyo tamit kontaan naa trop being in Tokyo because competition la boo xamante ne ni every athlete dream la pour nga nekk foofu noonu soo fa nekkee tamit da ngaa lan lu bëri tamit. Sometimes nga meet ñoo xamante ne ni ay big champions, and sometimes you want to meet them but you cannot to see them competing with them at the same pool, so daf laa jox experience yu bëri daal.
Ibrahima.
Okay, to answer your question for me, the Olympic, I see it as a very fair game because times ago I was sitting, I can just look at the TV, when am I going to meet these people, when am I going to compete with these people, and then in the Olympic game, I learned that I just sit in decent dining, eating with them, seeing them, they have 2 legs, they don't have magic to do. So I feel like when I reach there, one day I can reach where these people reach. So some of them, I meet them, chatting with them, they will explain experience where they pass through. So I know that still now, I don't do nothing. All those champions, when you chat, when they tell you how they struggle till they reach there, you'll know that still now I don't do nothing. So for me, after chatting with some of them, I know that I don't do nothing yet in athletics. So I have many things to tackle before I reach where they are. So it's a great opportunity for me meeting those people, and a great experience also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I was there at the State House with the athletes, and also with the president of the NOC, who is Alaji Kapitu Chuf. I did not speak on behalf of the athletes because I was not on the list of delegates who were supposed to give a speech, but the president did. Our president did, the president of the NOC, and he doubled as the president of the Gambia Athletics Association. He did on his speech, and it was really appreciated because the issue of infrastructure, the issue of scholarships, the issue of grassroots athletes have all been mentioned by the president to the president of the Gambia. And then also when he was doing a presentation of the car to Gina, I just get close to him and said, we should get more tracks. And in fact, the state is supposed to get a track so that sometimes we will have competitions. So that alone rings a bell to him, and additional to what the president have said to him during the state house. Yes, and then he also talked about the increasing our sports levy, which is really good. And also added onto the addition question that Fatu have asked, I will try to lighten certain things on it with regards to if the athletes appreciate what is given to them by the government. I will tell you a definitely yes, because we've been in athletics for so many years. I was in Rio Olympics together with Gina, and also travel in so many international competitions as Nani mentioned. But it's for the first time that Gambian athletes receive such amount of money. Because in 2019, when we came back from the All African Games, we were given plots of lands by the government, which, yes, it had happened in other sports, but not in athletics. So we can say that the government of the day have looked on the welfare of the athletes than the past government. It doesn't mean that they cannot do it or they don't have it, but sometimes sports comes with politics. But we have to do it wisely when we politicalizing in sports. Meaning, we are athletes. We are ambassadors of the Gambia. It doesn't mean that we are ambassadors sent by the government to various countries, but we are ambassadors in sports and we are selling the country's name. So that's why I said, being in sports, we are in politics in sports, but politics meaning selling out the good image of our country in the outside world. And that's what we're doing today. So the athletes and I myself, being the captain, have appreciated 100% the effort of the government towards assisting these athletes of the country. Does that answer the question? Thank you.
Assalamualaikum mbooloo bi man la Awa Sow Gambian Talents TV li ma bëgg a laaj maa ngi koy jëmale si ki nga xam ne moo di Gina ñu gis ne yow policier nga ndax bi nga demee ni si compétition bi ba nga ñëw sa mbokki policier yi am na dara loo xamante ne defal nañ la ko pour kontaan loola wala déet ak tamit askan wi soxla nañoo xam ndax président bi lim la jox yow ak ñi nga àndal ak kër gi mu la jox ak oto bi ndax am na yeneeni compagnie tamit yoo xam ne ñu ngi fii ci biir réew bi ñoo xam ne am na tamit luñ def lu mel ni loolu nga leeralal ci askan bi dara.
I was starting at my working place, police. Someone promised to give a house that is built with, after he will give me a key. Yes, it's what police have offered to me, and I really appreciate that from them. And about the car, right? Yeah, the car, I really appreciate the car that I get, and I'm grateful for it.
Have you other companies for it? You only have to or something?
No, not yet.
I will take the final two questions now. Yeah, you have a question? Just final two.
For me, I was not aware of this, police.
Oh,
It's new to me.
okay.
I don't know if you can explain how you were able to manage being a police officer and how things to work.
Okay. How are you managing to be a police officer and at the same time being on the tracks?
Yeah, police have given us the view that when you are an athlete, you don't have to bother yourself to go to the station, but you have to concentrate in your athletics career. Yeah, so when I'm out, I'm just like normal people.
And when you are back to the country, like now, do you report to the police? Do you work there?
No, I don't go to work. Yeah.
No, but just to add on to that, if you look into our Gambian athletes, most of them are from the security firm. What happened here is the system is most of them, when they finish senior school, like grade 12, because most of these athletes, all of them sitting here, were one time, are representing their schools, be it the Gambia High, the Sens, the Muslims, you name it. This is where they are recruited, because these security firms also have, sports departments. So most of them are recruited into their sports department. Ibrahima is a prison officer. Adama is a prison officer. Gina is a police officer. So this is where they will take them, because they also have their inter-service competitions. We used to have the famous May Day, when it comes to also club competitions. So these people necessarily don't need to be on uniform to go. Some of them do. Some of them definitely will want to, feel like to test the uniform and see how it feels like. But you are given the opportunity to concentrate on what, because we have different departments in the police, including sports. So Gina here is from the sports department of the police. So not necessarily going to put on a uniform and be on the station and stuff, But and that's why you saw, we also, the day that they arrived, police took the lead. The IGP have to send the full police band, the escort, all the way to the Inspector General of Police office, because he belongs to the police. He's the sub-inspector. Yeah, they promised to take care of that, because the person that is building it is anonymous, but the police is taking the lead to make sure they complete that building and will give her the key. So I hope that answers also the question. So you don't need to.
Well, I want to add something on to.
Can we have you guys stop complaining?
Okay. Sorry.
The question is to Gina, but I want to enlighten something, because I'm also a civil servant. We all security personals, me, myself, Kamara, and Gina. And anytime that we go into any competition, it depends on who is responsible for the competition. If it is the GNOC, or it's the GAA, or it's the National Sports Council, they will write a permission letter that will be given to us, the athletes, to take it to our various departments. And that permission letter have to be granted for us to leave the country. So any traveling that we do, even our training being at the center, a permission letter is always written, and copy is always given to the athletes, and will be sent to your department for your department to approve if you can be permitted for you to leave the country from this period to this time. And if it is approved, you leave the country. If it did not approve, you have to stay till the permission letter is approved. And any of us have gone through our various training schools to make sure that we get the experience of being a security personnel. We can also give back to our country when we retire from our active sports.
Final question? Yeah, let me let me stand up, please. Yeah. My question is,
from which media house?
From Paradise. How you go to Tokyo Olympics now that is history? Like Nancy said, 2022 is coming up. What is the target for these kids that are coming? What's the question? For all of them. Okay. Alright, let's start with Gina. What's the target?
Well, it's not my first time being in those competitions. Like in Islamic games, I have to run faster to turn the title back to myself. And the other events, I have to make sure to be in the final, like in Commonwealth Games.
Ibrahim, you also what?
Okay, thank you for that question. And as I can say, athletics is a progression. So as you said, Tokyo is an history, and we already passed it. So people will talk about Tokyo, but for us now, every day you wake up, you think about your next competition. What should I do? And we're ready to work for that, because we cannot sit there thinking about what did I do in Tokyo, what did I do in Tokyo. That one we leave it for the fans to talk about it, and then we prepare for another surprise for them for upcoming years. Thank you so much.
Adam, you were not in Tokyo, but fans to see in competitions coming. What will you have for them?
Well, actually, it's I have been there, and then I will continue being there as a captain, as an athlete. More is expected from Gambian athletes, and I promise more will also be given. Athletics sometimes can have so much obstacles, but as a team, we always look forward to pamper each other to make sure that, we keep moving. And with the younger generation of athletes, I think the future is really bright to do more. And for the coming competitions, like next year, we have about 4 major competitions, different from the international meetings that will be on the pipeline. More is really expected, more records are really expected to be broken, because Gina owns the national record of both 100, 260 meters indoor. She had it. Ibrahima swimming have the national record. Ibrahima Kamara here have the national record in the 100 meters. I myself have the national record in the 200 meters. So athletics is not only about winning. Before we talk about winning, now we're talking about timing. And I really have hope in this team and the other ones who did not have the opportunity of being at the Olympic to make changes for ourselves and for our country, because this is what we have. And we'll continue pursuing that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you, Ibrahima, Kamara, Buaro, and okay. I think I have to stand now and do this quickly. That brings us to the end of this press conference. But before we end it, we have a presentation to do quickly to Gina Bass, because before she left for, Japan, while in Paris, a Gambian, of course, a Gambian sister, I would say, thought of, opening a GoFundMe account for her. The idea was conceived by Ngai Masise, is a Gambian, and was supported by Mohamed Jagana, Sali and others. They tried to raise funds, and I remember it brought a lot of misconception. People were like, okay, why would they open a GoFundMe account? The government should take a step, blah, blah, blah. But that has nothing to do with the government. This was just a Gambian lady that, was so much proud of Gina's achievement, and believe what, I need to do this to give, to say, Gina, thank you. This is my contribution that I can give to you for representing the country and making the entire Gambia proud. So I know they wanted more, but the little that they were able to collect, they have sent it to the country, and today they want to present it to the Gina in whole. And Zahra is here, to do that. Zahra, maybe you want to come forward, and please just come forward and give her the money. And they were able to raise $71,250 for Gina Bass. And there are a lot of other donations that, of course, have been made. They have contacted us. One like Melvin Robertson also contacted me 2 days ago to say he personally raised $45,000 to Gina, and he has wired the money. I am yet to receive it, but immediately I receive it, I will hand it over to Gina. Others also have contacted me saying they were able to make some couple of collections for Gina. So yeah, I am pretty sure from now on, she will no more be called the poor Olympian. Gina, you agree? You call the poor Olympian that don't have a house or a car, because the head of the state have given him a car, and philanthropists are now coming forward, donating cash or kind and even a house. So Gina, Zahra, please come forward and do this donation. You want to come in from Gina? And then, so the money is in dollars, so I think that makes it looks okay for us. If it was dollars, it will be a bunch that. So Gina, come forward. And no, please, no, please. I just want to say thank you so much, Ngaima, for coming up with this initiative. Zahra,
thank you.
You want to see what is it? Really?
gis ngeen xaalis boobu noonu la gaay jox ki nga xam ne moo nekk Gina Bass $1,425 moom lañ jox Gina Bass. As you can see at this current minute moom la Gina di jël ni si ay moromam. Jërëjëf.
Thank you so much for coming, really appreciate it. And thank you again to Ngaima, Mohamed Jagana. And we cannot end by saying, without saying thank you to Alliance Cafe for having us the opportunity to host this here. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it's a nice environment, isn't it?
So how about also thanking the media?
I said
Thank you, everybody.
No, thank you, Dimida. You are here advertising. All right, thank you, Babu Kerry. You did a great job as well. So, Gambia, Leland, anyone. So.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations